Alright, so Squishy said he's played hoops 0 times. Kronovi said he's played hoops 5 times. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. BO5, I'll say. This should be good. BO5 hoops 1v1. They've come together. They've played this game mode 5 times. The dunk house. Of course, Kronovi is someone who loves to dunk the ball. So the fact that he's not focused more on hoops 1v1s does surprise me. Okay, so this is going to be best of 5, hoops 1v1. Kickoffs, of course, on hoops, a little bit interesting because it bounces up. I'd love to see more variations of kickoffs in actual 1v1 games on the default Rocket League map. Is Kronovi got... He does have cat ears. Kronovi is now a weeb. There you go. Purple cat ears as well. Weebs all over the world are going to be super jealous about that one. Squishy says he's never done hoops at all. Kronovi says he's played 5 games. I know Kronovi, when hoops came out, was playing hoops a lot, but probably all 3v3 and 2v2 games, not 1v1. But it's a game where defending is actually a lot easier on hoops because it's quite difficult to score delicate shots like this one, but the ball's going to bounce around. Good save, Squishy with a monster save right there. Listen to the ball bouncing around off these surfaces. And of course, cars do make the squeaky noise. There's like the sneaker squeak when they turn, so this should be quite interesting. Squishy's throws are going to be quite dangerous on this because if you could do low throws, of course doing low throws in a real game are not as effective, but in hoops doing low arced shots and low throws and things like that are actually really difficult to defend because you need to get both, as a defender, you need to get underneath the crossbar and still get up for the save. There you go, Kronovi headbutting the crossbar. We're seeing exactly the same problem, and good recovery for the save. Squishy's done a couple of low arc shots in a row there. The other thing about hoops is that air dribbler are more viable on hoops than the regular game mode because it's easier to dunk at the end of an air dribble on hoops than it is on the standard map. Kronovi getting a pinch center ball. That's actually still going to be on target, but Squishy, great recovery. Managed to get 3 touches on that, all said and done. And Kronovi with an own goal! Oh no! He's just centered it a little bit too far off the wall here. So Squishy, that was the hit that got credited with the goal, because Kronovi, we look at it from Squishy's POV, tried to go up and across and he just completely beamed it. I don't know what I should name myself. Thanks for the 338 and asking how do you sub a mobile. Good question. Good question. My advice to you would be get on a laptop and subscribe there because I don't know how to sub a mobile. I've never tried. But I don't expect very high scoring games in Hoops 1v1. It is, unless you're against someone like Marky Duda who can literally pop the ball whenever he wants. It's very difficult to get consistent goals. Kronovi actually, yeah, he did clear that. That was a really good clear. Pinching it off the back wall. And good job getting out to meet that early. Didn't want to give Squishy the free shot. I'm wondering how long it's going to take before we see a goal, like a pinch goal in off the ceiling. Because the thing about hoops is that if you just blast the ball into the ceiling, you can sometimes get it to come back down before the defender has a chance to react. But I think hoops 1v1s are pretty good. It's a pretty good game mode because you get to see some very interesting flashes of playstyles. One thing to note is that I think the game is still coded wrong, so that hit by Kronovi, it might have actually registered as a shot, despite the fact that it was nowhere near the goal. Just because, as far as I know, the game is coded in such a way that it thinks that the goal is exactly where it would be on a regular map, but in fact the goal is a big, like, you know, hoop, as the name of the map would suggest. That used to be a problem anyway. Good catch and pop by Kronovi, but again, Squishy's so good at just getting these awkward little angles to fly off at. And he's got a clean sheet almost 3 minutes into the game, but he's only got 1 goal of his own. So very close stuff here. He's going to go for the catch and throw once again. That'll be good use of the back wall. He's going to use the ceiling as well to make sure that he can get to this ball before Squishy. And he's playing it very slow. Look how small the field is. Squishy just looking at Kronovi like, what are you doing? As Kronovi just face plants it. There's the double touch for Squishy. Again, another thing that's easier to do on hoops compared to the regular map are these double touch finishes, because you can just backboard it to yourself and then dunk it straight down. You don't need to score it into a small you know, hole in the wall. You just need to put it right down. And this might be a kickoff goal for Kronovi. Good shot, and it will be a goal. Very good height that he was able to get on this. I think Squishy was caught off guard. He did not expect Kronovi to pull a shot out so quickly. Yeah, Squishy didn't even see the shot as a possibility. Thought that the ball was going to be too low for Kronovi to get the angle. Kronovi sitting in goal. I'm not actually a fan of this because usually that results in a boost steal for the opponent, but it looks like Squishy might actually have taken too long to do so, and he, despite the fact that he keeps it out briefly, does get scored on. Squishy taking a really wide line for that boost grab, gets one initial save, but it's not good enough, gets denied by the backboard, or not by the backboard, the inside of the hoop I should say. Now fake kickoff for Squishy on the diagonal, so we might see more of that, because Squishy, like he's said in Steam messages, has never played hoops. Good job by Kronovi there, getting underneath the post and still making the save. There's just so many shots just straight off the front of the net. The front post, the front middle post. The entire net is kind of a giant post. And Squishy does rip a shot past Crow, but it hits off the good old front post again. Is this going to be a regulation time victory? With a demo like that, that's a really good chance. Squishy might just try and blast this. Again though, denied by the same thing as he was denied last time. Twice in a row now that Squishy's rattled the front of the hoop with shots. Needed to arc his shots a little bit higher. Of course, he doesn't want to arc them too high because that would make it too easy to save. Both these guys very, very comfortable coming off the back wall, which will... That's another reason why Hoops 1v1 might favor 3v3 mains more than regular 1v1s, because backboard defense is so much more prolific in Hoops. There's the soft pop by Squishy again, using the wall to defend it. But, oh my goodness, what a pop by Kronovi. He's just consistently popping the ball. He had an open net right there, but he couldn't get it in fast enough. The ring. Aye, the ring. This is probably going to go to overtime unless Squishy could do something fantastical here. No, he cannot. Oh, Kronovi's going to keep it up though. Tries to go underneath Squishy to no effect. Overtime it is. Squishy in net. I'm not a massive fan. Kronovi with all of the choices of what to do there. When people get really good at face-offs on hoops. Oh no, Squishy, not like this! Oh no! He just completely face-planted. This looked so good from Kronovi's perspective. We're going to watch it again. As Squishy tries to get the ball popped and he just completely face-plants the post. Oh no. The hoop just denying him. That was hilarious. I hope Squishy's having a good laugh about that one, because that's basically how a lot of goals in hoops are conceded when you're new to the map. You just get ruined by the underside of the post. Look at that, completely mirrored stats actually. Interesting. I have to keep an eye out and see if they fix the notification tracker on the hoops game mode. Oh, let me get a score up as well, because that was game 1 to Kronovi in pretty hilarious fashion. I can't even remember. I was gonna say something to you guys. I was gonna mention something, but I've forgotten what it was because that goal was just so funny. Oh yeah, when people get good at kickoffs, expect to see a lot of kickoff goals. That's what I was going to say, and I just got reminded by the fact that there is in fact a kickoff goal. Because kickoffs can be quite deadly in face-off. Oh, the server ruined his aerial. Oh no. Apparently the server beamed Squishy. That's interesting. Or beamed Kronovi, I should say. But we get the immediate karma. Looks like Kronovi just got the dunk on that one. Of course, hitting the ball second on this face-off can be very important on hoops. There's a really good shot. Look at what would have happened there. If that was shot was just a tiny bit higher, it's so difficult for Squishy to get a save. Because if you just spike it down from the midfield, the pitch is so small that you don't really have much time as a defender to react. And of course, getting it into the part of the hoop which is farthest from the wall is very effective to do. Kronovi just got beaten by the post, but he's going to use the back wall to try and get a double jump clear. Misses it, but the ball's going to go clear regardless. It can be so difficult to defend the very, very front of the hoop. Oh, there we go. The ceiling play by Squishy, and he's looking for a rebound. Nearly gets it, but he ran out of boost. That would have been sick for Squishy. He's giving Kronovi a ton of space here because he's not that afraid of the follow-up, but he should be. Backflips in a heap of panic. As Kronovi just blasts it straight at his net and reaps a reward. The backflip for Squishy. He would have actually been on a direct collision course with the post again if he kept going for that. They're leaving the face-off this time in favor of the wall, but that is why it can be so dangerous to leave the face-offs. This is the perfect example of why you can't really leave face-offs on hoops, in my experience, because if Kronovi just dumps it right in the front of the net, It is so hard for Squishy to get there in time. And Kronovi can adapt. He can see where Squishy's positioning himself in the net. And if Squishy goes for the back wall play, front of the net's going to be really hard to save. If Squishy sits in the back, Kronovi can just fire it at the backboard. So there's lots of options. Like I don't think staying in net on face-off is that viable in 1v1 hoops. Currently, nobody's found a way to defend the net, you know, in a completely safe position. And just with how difficult it is to counter-attack in hoops in general, you're not really getting much benefit. Of course, if you do a fake kickoff in normal 1v1, you can usually get a counter-attack going pretty quickly, because all you need to do is score the open net shot before your opponent picks up boost. But in hoops, you need to control the ball and then pop it just to get the counter-attack goal. But Squishy's going to do this again. And this time Kronovi not opting for the aerial, so this is going to work out for Squishy. I'm not sure if Kronovi trying something new at the other end as well. These little squeaks of the wheels landing on the indoor surface sounds pretty cool. I know that was my favorite thing about hoops when it released, was just that little noise. Whoa, okay, Kronovi nearly getting a fortunate goal. Front of the iron or front of the rim, both basketball terms. Thank you for letting me know. I imagine I don't expect to be casting too much hoops in any like super serious tournaments, but if I was doing a serious tournament cast for hoops, I would try to learn all the terms. There's Squishy with the ceiling pinch attempt. Still down by a goal in this game. Bye, Johnny. Your managers are dumb and told me the wrong day to come in, so you gotta go. Much love. Alright, quick and big. Stupid managers, man. Stupid managers. Squishy getting a lot of possession here, but this, whereas it would have been an open net shot on a regular game, it's actually just a really, really hard shot to fashion. And this, again, it would have been an open net in a regular game, but Kronovi's decided to go roll it in. Oh my goodness, it's worked though! Squishy did not see that coming. Cheeky play by Kro, just gonna very delicately roll it perfectly up and over. Really well played. Squishy might not have even known that that was possible, but now he does. And Factorio, thanks for the sub. Welcome to the channel, dude. I appreciate the Twitch Prime support. He plays on PC, but you'd whip him at Rocket League. That's what I like to hear, dude. That is what I like to hear. Squishy nearly getting a nice double touch here, but Kronovi was just watching that whole time. Figured that Squishy's shot was not going to go on target. Kronovi definitely looking like the player who's more experienced in the hoops game mode, which is just a fact. As he has played, I believe, 5 hoops 1v1s before this. Squishy has played none. And Squishy is a fast learner, though. I'm sure he can figure something out. He's trying to keep the ball bouncing here. Just going to keep you up it all the way into Kronovi's half, but he's missed on the boost. Shouldn't matter too much, because he will have time to get a boost and make it back time. But again, he's foiled by the post. Again, Kronovi is putting the ball in such difficult locations for Squishy to deal with. This first shot, just look at how difficult this is for Squishy to deal with, because the post completely gets in his way. Oh no. Squishy again being foiled by the gigantic hoop. Ah, so Kronovi has never done 1v1 hoops. He's only done hoops 2v2. Interesting. So both these guys new to hoops 1v1. Kronovi with a bit of a freestyle block face-off. Thanks for letting me know, Kro. What a save by Squishy. Holy cow. That was redonkulous. But again, Kronovi's just firing shots in on the bounce. He's bouncing all these shots from awkward positions. Trying to catch Squishy off guard. And a pre-jump by Kronovi to get that interception. And they might have just Moi-guysed. Okay, that was nearly sick by both of them. They were nearly insane. Squishy passes it off the backboard to Kro, but then he got back for the save as well. And Kronovi face plants the ball. Can Squishy score though? Denied by the front post. But it's going to find its way in anyway. Kronovi just got completely bamboozled by this play. The rim gave it a little bit more height, and then Kronovi's just like, what do I do? As the ball's bouncing over his head. He didn't know where to go. Still a good chance for Squishy to get back into this game. They're starting to score more goals now, as Squishy with a fast kickoff, popping it right at the net. He tried to score off the curvy part of the ceiling, which does work. If you can actually hit that curve, it will go straight down the wall on face-off. It's very hard to execute because, of course, you're in the air while doing so with very limited boost, so it's something that requires pinpoint accuracy, much like the pinch shot from Kronovi nearly going in. Cross court. Looks like Kronovi might indeed hang on to this victory, as he's just staying with it, refusing to give Squishy any space to set up a play of his own. Half volley for Kronovi, threatening the net. And Squishy has having to make multiple saves here to keep it out. The initial pop did not take it off target. Yeah, hoops is definitely good for teaching people how to pop the ball, if nothing else. Definitely good for teaching people how to pop the wall. And wall defense is also pretty important. It could be it could be a pretty fun game mode for people who like to 1v1 but don't like face-offs. You don't like face-offs, but you want to 1v1 someone, just play hoops 1v1 because face-offs don't play as big a part on it. Squishy's going to change card. That is interesting. I wonder what he's going to change to. It's almost certainly going to be a long card. I expect Dominus perhaps, but we'll see. We'll see. He might just be coming back in with the Merc or something. Then just throw us all for a massive loop. Yeah, I was thinking maybe flat cards means better flicks. I mean, I think that the Octane... I think the Octane is still better. I don't know, maybe. There's a few reasons why Octanes might be better with for this. Like, well, there are obviously going to be advantages and disadvantages for any car. Kronovi saying maybe flat cars better flicks. Squishy saying he's not too good at the flat cars though. He's not used to the bounces and the way that the car interacts with the ball. But a couple of advantages for the taller car in hoops is that if the ball is just a little bit off the wall, you don't actually need to dodge into it to hit it. Because the additional height of the Octane, it just reaches further away from the wall, so it does make just a very few situations a bit easier. What a shot by Kronovi! That was pretty sick. Squishy saying the great pass. He was going to try and dunk this, but look at that, Kronovi off the wall and just blasts it end to end right into the net. And hey, BitGoat, thanks for the resub, dude. 2 months, much appreciated, my friend. Kronovi there actually shooting to the side I would not have expected him shooting. He's going to go for the side that was more open. However, I feel like if he had shot that directly at Squishy, Squishy would have had a harder time getting the ball clear. He might have had an easier save initially, but if we think about what could he have done to save it, probably just a pop. And that doesn't actually get the ball out of danger. And Kronovi, what a recovery! Brilliant play, end-to-end stuff by Kronovi, transitioning from defense to offense on hoops and actually pulling off a backboard shot. Squishy looking for the boost in the corner, did not expect to see a shot coming out from Kuro. That is exactly what we saw. So Squishy definitely got a lot of work to do. He's now going to be trying to adapt to the new car as well as the new map, and Kronovi is refusing to relent. Squishy gets beamed by the rim yet again. Kronovi with a terrible landing for a change. Here we go. So air dribbles, of course, are better on this map because you can dunk at the end, but Kronovi gets the save regardless, and Squishy just drives right into the rim again. Squishy definitely needing to learn where the rim is a little bit more. And Kronovi, what a delicate shot as he pops it right in the front of the net. Yeah, Squishy has said in chat that he keeps hitting the rims. This is not wrong. A good pop by Kronovi, utilizing the fact that the goal is really quite far out from the wall. Scrub vs. Kato upload for a year. It's coming soon. Dunk kickoff for Crow. That's on target if Squishy can't make it back to time. So Kronovi's going to redirect it again anyway. It was already going in, but Kronovi changing the angle. Gets a dunk on the face-off, getting really high. Kronovi saying he hates the kickoffs. They feel so random. I mean, it will feel pretty random because there's not a real, like, nobody's really figured out how to do a kickoff on hoops reliably. Now Kronovi getting beaten by the rim, but Squishy's shot a little bit too low once again. I don't know about you guys, but it feels whenever I play, when I used to play like longer cars, I felt slower as a player. I don't know, like Octane for some reason just it feels so fast and so nippy, even though it has a worse turning circle than the Dominus and the Batmobile, for example. It just makes, I don't know, is that just placebo or if it's a playstyle thing? What a save. Kronovi denying another double touch from Squishy. Getting some great reads on Squishy's offense here. He's going to go for a mad prediction. If that had worked, that would have been crazy. And a little bit of aggression as well. Squishy forced to run away from Kuro. I don't know, but it always feels like the super fast players are usually playing Octane. Like Devo. one of the fastest players, Octane. And Lichinio, one of the fastest players, also Octane these days. I don't know, it might just be players being more precise with the longer cars like the Dominus and the Batmobile, because you do get a little bit more precision with your shots and your aerials, as the hitbox of the Octane really doesn't match the graphic at all. And Kronovi not going for a half volley wall clear there. I would have really expected a half volley wall clear, because with the size of this map, you can score with half volley wall clears so fast. Again, just a straight catch on the wall, but Squishy has beamed it. Kronovi with an opportunity. Couldn't get it this time. Squishy struggling to get any real form of attack going. This is going to be super difficult to score as he's running out of boost and running out of time. Should get Dapper and Bipod to play hoops would be crazy. Bipod. Is Bipod really good at hoops or something? There we go. This time Kronovi does half volley it off the wall. And despite the fact that he had almost no momentum, the ball wasn't moving that fast. It makes it to the halfway line anyway. Yeah, you can see people flip their cars to hit the ball with the hood of their cars in hoops. But, you know, aerial 50-50s are a big part of Rocket League 3v3 anyway. So usually pro players can adapt to be quite good at hoops, kickoffs, you know, despite the fact that they've never done them before, just because they're used to doing aerial 50-50s already. Look at this delicate shot by Kronovi. Able to just pop it right over the hoop and into the empty net. Squishy wants to do mutators after this. He's apparently come up with a mutator mode that he thinks that you guys will like, so I'm curious. He didn't tell me what they are, but I trust his content creation mind with being able to come up with something. Kuro's pretty good. Yeah, Kuro's had some really delicate shots, just barely popping it in. Some very creative plays. It's funny because a lot of people, when they saw hoops be introduced to Rocket League, they just thought, oh man, hoops is going to be like an insane aerial battle. There's going to be so many aerials and stuff like that. But it's all about the ground shots, really. It's all about the pops. It's a battle of pops. Squishy just beamed the post yet again. He just couldn't get the flick that he needed. It's one thing to get the flick over the front of the hoop, but actually doing it at speed is the trick. Like, can people do low arc shots that arc just high enough to go over the hoop, but also just low enough that your opponent doesn't get back in time to save it? Because if you just like arc a shot just underneath the ceiling and in, it's going to be going so slowly. Kronovi's going to go for another Moi Guys play. He knows that he's already won this game 6-0. Very comfortable stuff. Looks like the car change was not a good idea for Squishy. He wanted to try something different as he was feeling like the Octane mirror wasn't going in his favor. And Squishy is pretty good at both cars. Kronovi not having any of the 0-second keepy up. Tries to bean Squishy. Clean out the play. That's going to be 3-0 for Kronovi. Very impressive display on Hoops 1v1, despite the fact that he'd never played Hoops 1v1 before. It's probably something that I'll look into. If you guys want to see more of that, definitely let me know. Because it seems quite interesting to me, at least.